the greatest superhero movie team up of all time, Zack Snyder's Justice League. It is not even up for debate. I love the Avengers movies, but when we're talking about a solid, good, heartful, emotional movie, and it comes to the team members and how they bounce off one another, I gotta give it to this movie, man. It nails every aspect of the Justice League, and it just reminds me so much of the cartoons in a good way. Just how much heart and hope and affection there is towards one another, and how Superman really is the symbol for hope. I always found that very, very corny, but in the cartoons and in this movie, I think are the best portrayals of Superman. I'm talking about like the Justice League animated series, for example, like that show in particular. Obviously, this movie has been talked about to death. I'm very late on this one, but to give you guys a quick rundown, I've been on this train ever since the beginning. I've been here with you guys. I just haven't been speaking up. But when Justice League came out, the 2018 version, I'm not going to explain, all the drama. Everyone already knows. This has been around for years. I went and saw that movie when it came out, and I brought my buddy, and it was his first time seeing a superhero movie in the theaters, and whew, that was not a good first impression. Obviously, it was a very, very rough movie. I think the score by Danny Elfman in that movie was really good. But there wasn't really anything good about that movie, I gotta be honest. So after watching that, I already knew kind of that wasn't the final version because it wasn't made by Zack Snyder. So after a couple of years went by, and I was kind of thinking about it, and then just so happened enough, the fucking internet started blowing up saying Zack Snyder made a deal with Warner Brothers to release his version of it. So when it came on HBO Max, I jumped on it right away. Instantly, I liked it better. The differences in the two movies, like they're two completely different movies. Some of the scenes might be in the same setting, but the outcome, the execution, the dialogue, like literally everything's different. It's crazy. If you want to watch like a comparison video, this is not the channel to come to. I'm just going to be talking about the movie itself. But they are two completely different movies. The other one, I don't think it's a bad thing to have both of them, because this movie is very much for adults. Like, it is very, very dark. The whole movie is really, really dark. There's a lot of blood. There's F-bombs. Like, this is just more for adults. So I don't think it's a bad thing to have both. Yes, the other one is kind of a disgrace to Zack Snyder, but at the same time, the other one I could throw on for my nephew or something. I wouldn't recommend putting this on. So it is nice just to have something for the kids to watch and to have like a light heart, Justice League movie. And then you have your dark, so it's really nice having that variety. So in the long run, it kind of worked out both ways, but at the same time, it really fucked Snyder over. And just to talk about the movie, like I saw it on HBO Max twice. I watched it with my buddy, and then I watched it with my mom. That is 8 hours of my time watching it twice in the span of maybe 2-3 months. Didn't bother me whatsoever. I still loved it as much as I did the first time. Obviously, watching it the third time, it's going to be a bit more repetitive because you know what's going to happen. But the 4K DVD just makes this a whole new movie compared to the HBO Max stream. Holy fucking shit. This transfer is probably side by side with Joker. I would give Joker the slight edge just because it's a more colorful movie, and this is a very like dark and gray black movie. So Joker just slightly wins. But if this movie had color, Woo! And the scenes that do have color, oh man, the suits, the practical effects, the explosions, most importantly, the fight scenes are fucking amazing. And you can complain about the 4:3 aspect ratio all you want. HBO Max, it doesn't really pay off, but I feel like on the disc, something just clicks more. It feels more natural. The characters really do feel like they're big and they're tall and they're huge, especially Superman and Batman. That's what you want. And you can really feel the weight behind the movements, behind the punches. The size really matters. That's what she said. But getting the DVD is completely different, man. It just, the quality is there. And Zack Snyder's cinematography just pulls this disc like into the perfect direction, because he just has those still frame shots of people jumping in the air in the fight scenes, and it just looks like something straight ripped out from a comic book. You can see all of the, like, just everything. It's amazing. And the 4K and the HDR really make just everything pop. It obviously has Dolby Atmos, and it has Dolby Audio for the Blu-ray. Yeah, the Blu-ray's in here. Obviously, every 4K comes with a Blu-ray. But it doesn't. Now that I'm looking at it, it doesn't have Dolby Vision. Ooh, really? Damn, that might be a bit of a missed opportunity there. If it doesn't, does it have HDR? It has Ultra HD. I'm just noticing this now. Fuck, this might be fun for you guys to see me a bit confused. Yeah, it doesn't have HDR. Probably because it's not that colorful of a movie. It's more black and white. Not black and white. Black and gray. But, wow, that's weird. I just noticed that. So, Dolby Atmos. Yeah, 100% perfect. Carries the movie. Like, the soundtrack is just bumping. I love it. It's like this rock, dark feel to it. Crystal clean, had no issues with it. This is definitely up there with the Batman, as well as the scores and how the Dolby Atmos sounds, how clear it is. This is definitely up there with the Batman and the Joker and Suicide Squad. I gotta watch that again. Yeah, it came in a nice little slipcover, which is really nice. Please just go buy this movie, man. It's so worth the money. Maybe 4 hours long, but it deserves every minute of that runtime. I just love how epic this movie is. Like, we got Wonder Woman movie, we got the Superman movie, we didn't get a solo Ben Affleck Batman movie, we got Aquaman. Obviously, The Flash came out, and then we didn't get a Cyborg movie, so this movie really does juggle Cyborg and Batman really well, and The Flash, because they don't really have origin movies just yet. So that was really nice to see all of them be fleshed out and developed really well. Darkseid is barely in the movie. He's a huge threat, but he's barely in the movie. It's more Steppenwolf, who has a way better motivation this time around. The one thing that just bugs me out, man, is I don't think Ben Affleck wants to do the Snyderverse anymore, even if it does get sold to Netflix, which I don't think it will. Henry Cavill's out as Superman, and the way this movie ends, I just want more. I love this universe. Is there flaws? Absolutely there's flaws. But I just love the vibes. I love the tone. I love the action scenes. And I love the characters. And I love the writing. Pretty perfect universe in my world. I know there's a lot of nitpicks I could really... I don't like Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor. But if we could get a Snyder version of Justice League 2, or whatever they want to call it next, man, I would sign up for that petition and donate as much money as I could, because I really want to see this group together again. I really do feel like they have something special, and it really does feel like the Justice League. It is a perfect representation of it. And if we don't ever get this again, this movie's going to be a gem, man, because it still is. But just having this one with these people, this cast, never getting another one, especially the way this movie ends and how it builds everything up for Darkseid to come back. I mean, you could go watch the Apocalypse War animated movie, but what it could have been, man, that's all I could think. What it could have been. I've been with Snyder since day one. I never hated him. I just always loved... Man of Steel was never my favorite, but I love Batman vs. Superman. Talking about the Ultimate Edition. Yes, could have been better, but for what we got, I loved it. And I just love the tone, the vibes he goes for. I know a lot of people say it's inaccurate to the characters and blah, blah, blah. But in my opinion, there's a lot of aspects of Superman he does get right. There is some aspects he doesn't get right. But let's hope the James Gunn's new iteration does some good and makes us forget about the Snyderverse, because if James Gunn's new Superman sucks, I'm just gonna want to go back to this. And it really sucks because we don't have enough of these characters. There's one Superman movie, one Wonder Woman movie. There wasn't even a Batman movie. And once we finally feel like we start to get everyone together, we're not gonna get another one. And if this movie didn't end off in such a big cliffhanger, I wouldn't be feeling... Well, I probably would be feeling this way, but the amount of threat that Darkseid poses, and we're not going to be able to get that, and Jared Leto's Joker actually being decent for once, man, it's a hard pill to swallow. But overall, terrific movie. The best team-up action scenes I've ever seen in my life. And I have seen every superhero movie, but this is just up there as one of, if not my favorite team-up movie. The way their powers bounce off each other. Flash going back to save everyone. The whole movie is epic. It doesn't slow down, but there's so many great emotional moments that are not in the original version. I mean, the edited version, the reading cut. Don't ever want to talk about that movie again. Let's move on. So yeah, that's basically the rest of the video. It just sucks that I know Zack Snyder wants to finish his story. Why would you put in all this effort to not do it? And if it goes to Netflix, man, it fucking goes to Netflix. I think that'd be a huge thing for Netflix. They would get a lot of viewers that way. But then Snyder's got to get Ben Affleck to come back and get Henry Cavill to come back. And then somehow work that out with DC. So where people aren't confused. Why is there 2 Supermans? And at that point, we'll have 3 Batmans, because there's going to be a new Batman in the DCU. We got Robert Pattinson. If Ben Affleck came back, we would have almost 3 different universes. So that would get really complicated. Let me know what you guys think of this movie. I fucking love it. I really do think it is a masterpiece. And I really do think it's one of a kind. Just awesome entertainment, great superhero work. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.